all I gotta say is, for one, I miss y'all. I know it's been a minute. Partial has been due to practicing for Treasure Cup, being sick after coming back from Treasure Cup, and then picking up the bag and making sure I don't fumble it in future adventures, I guess is the best way to say that. But welcome back, everybody. I do miss y'all. I do love y'all. I do appreciate everything that y'all do. I really did love enjoying and meeting quite a bit of y'all actually at Carta Magica, and just having, I guess, more knowledge than I thought, as far as a lot of people who actually watch these videos versus what I thought, you know. But without further ado, essentially what this video is going to be a recap of just my experience. My experience with going to Carta Magica, going to Treasure Cup, and especially for a first event like that for One Piece that is in person. I wanted to kind of share that experience with everyone and kind of do that moving forward. I know that some people don't have the, whether it's financial or just scheduling, whatever it is that may be, that they just can't make events like that in person. So I kind of wanted to just share that with y'all, for those who can't make it, or for those who did make it and saw me there, or just, you know, kind of want to recap just to look back on at some point like that. This is kind of for that too. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Oh, and before I forget, at some point during this video, which will probably be towards the end, I'm going to be opening up my packs for y'all so that y'all can come ahead and see what I got. And also I got better news towards the end also for sure. So do stay tuned for that as well. So starting off, obviously me and Oscar decided to fly instead of drive like one of our friends over to Niagara, and it was just really a really nice trip, even though Oscar is petrified of flying. I did not know that before the trip, so that was actually really funny to kind of experience, but I mean, he made it extremely well. This is heading over to the hotel. This is us taking this gander down the hallways of the back rooms, towards our hotel room. And it was really nice because one part of our hotel room saw over Niagara Falls, and the other half got to see over the venue itself, which was really nice. So what I really loved about this venue was the fact that it is very spacious, as you can see, and walking in there in just a moment, you're going to see that it is a lot of space. And it was really well kept, really clean, really nice. The weather was super cold. I think it was like -4 degrees for whatever reason, but it didn't really feel that bad to me. I don't know why. I guess I'm just sub-zero deep down, you know, ice in my veins. Sheesh. Nah, I'm just playing, but it was really cold, honestly. But it was really great that we are literally across the street. All we had to do was just walk, not even 5 minutes outside of the hotel. So that was really good. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure Oscar would have froze to death, and I would have had to carry him through the snow like a dramatic scene. But it was really nice. Walking in, they had Carta Magica themselves had a card stand that they were selling cards, like super pre-release decks, like boxes of those. They had a lot of nice figures. Definitely a lot of the ones with good plot were bought. As far as like people that showed up, it was packed to the brim. Everybody showed up, all 512, and then some people brought their spouses or significant others. It was a lot of people there, and it was really good of a turnout. It was really peaceful and well kept. As you can see, you saw some people sporting their gear. You didn't see, shockingly, as much as what I did see, but it's all good. Now, this was my round 1 opponent. Don't let her smile fool you. She completely dogged me in the first game. She had the perfect setup, playing a kid mirror, had Bonnie, Okiku, Basil, 7-drop, Yamato, 8-drop. She literally had the perfect curve, and she dogged me. So yeah, really great match. Then this is the interview that I actually got to have with Gabe. You might recognize him from Yu-Gi-Oh videos that he put out. He actually made it into top 4, and he literally built a deck with his best friend like the same week. So that was really crazy for him to come out of nowhere and perform like that. It was super dope meeting him for sure. And as you can see, this is a matchup of one of the rounds where it went to time, and this was a really, really good match. Gabe ended up pulling this out. I think this was round 5 or 6, so this is nowhere near to when he got to that later point in the game, but this was just a really good match where everybody was circling around and watching. Super really good. Then, as you may have noticed these people before, this is Movement TCG. So I actually got to meet them in person. We kind of all been chatting, a lot of us commentators, for a while, so it was just really good to finally meet, you know, the groups that you kind of chat over with for, you know, weeks and weeks on end. So that was really, really good. They were super dope people to be with. And as you can see, we have one person that you might recognize, and then one that you may not recognize, and that is the other Dex. He was actually super, super chill and super sweet. Yes, he is very soft-spoken as he is in his videos, but it's with a kind heart. He's super kind-hearted, and the kid next to him is actually super good of a player, believe it or not. He didn't just show up just to, you know, get crapped on the whole game. Like, he actually was beating grown adults. I think he ended up getting like 5 or 4 wins, something like that. Super crazy, but he was also really, really cool. Him and his dad were super sweet. And as you're seeing now, I actually got to interview the other Dex, and me and him had a nice long chat about just overall what he did and how he performed throughout the week, the day. He didn't do so hot in the overall grand scheme of things, but he was super nice and super sweet about just chatting it up and everything like that. I really do appreciate that. Actually got to get a snippet of the top 64 that I wish I could have got, which I didn't get. But it was all good. Overall, I performed not so hot. I think I went 3-5, which was just not that great. Or no, 3-6, which was really, really not great at all. I was fumbling the bag, man. But in lieu of that, I ended up, you know, making a lot of great friends, a lot of great connections and everything like that. So a lot of these people that you're seeing are super sweet, super kind-hearted. Everybody was super open to just like chatting and communicating about One Piece and their experiences with the event. It was really, really great. And as you may have recognized the kid earlier, I actually got to interview him and his dad, and the kid was playing Zoro. He was super sweet, man. He got his son into playing just so he could learn math and read, and his dad was all about, you know, as long as he keeps learning, I'm going to keep having my son play as long as he wants to. So he loved it. And yeah, he was super, it was like so wholesome. And then this guy is actually one of the very few in top 8 that got in with a blue purple Kaido. He was the only blue purple Kaido player. He defied all odds, and he doesn't even know how he got there himself, which was pretty hilarious in itself. Then we had a special guest. It was super, super cool to see him. We got Doflamingo, and it was really great. Oh man, Oscar, I love Oscar for that. Honestly, I totally got him in to do that for day 2. This was day 2. Myself as well as Moonman TCG got to actually commentate for Carta Magica, which was really super dope. And at the end of the day, this was the number 2 player who went undefeated up until the very finals, and he lost 2 after the first dub. And he lost to this guy. Both of them knew each other, so it wasn't no harm, no foul. They were super both cool and just really chill of just talking and commentating. But overall, after that, obviously we had to head back home. This is Oscar being up at like 3-4 in the morning just to make it to the airport in time, and we had to catch the cab back, which was super fun and super tiring. We did definitely miss it on the way back, and I had to just record the path back, passing the 18 different TGI Fridays for whatever reason, because there was like 8 of them on the way of like a mile radius. I don't know why. There's one right there. And Applebee's too. I don't know why it was always TGI and Applebee's like right after each other every single time. So it was super interesting to see that. But outside of that, man, it was a really great experience. It was super like chill and wholesome and just entirely just fun throughout the whole entire experience, which really sucks that we had to go. But you know, we eventually had to go home, obviously. The airport was obviously super dead because it's 4 in the morning. But it's all good because I, for one, got to experience something that shockingly I never experienced before, and that was trying Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons is like their, I don't want to say Starbucks, but it basically is like another Starbucks over there with super dope drinks and everything like that. And I tried the ice cap, and it was actually really good. It wasn't like super slushed. It wasn't like frozen like a slushy where it's just ice, 90% ice. It was actually pretty solid, and I liked it. I got the original ice cap, man, from Canada. It was my first time in Canada, so it was really dope. I liked it. I definitely downed that drink before we got on the plane. Then we got back on the plane. Obviously, it was a quick flight. I think in total that flight was only about an hour, so it wasn't that bad. Oscar had a better experience on the way back. It wasn't terrible the first time, but it was definitely still better the second time. And you know, he was drawing his favorite character for what was, I guess you could say, plot. But man, y'all don't know, but Oscar's a phenomenal artist, definitely, for sure. Like literally in the midst of an hour he drew all that. So yeah, super dope. And yeah, honestly, that was my quick experience / recap. I wish I had the audio, but partial to how I fumbled the bag with my record, I also fumbled the bag with my recording, because all my audio was just gone. I don't know how, and it wasn't just me, it was also the people who filmed with me on their own purpose and accord. Like, I don't know how all of our audio just up and disappeared. But overall, it was still a really great experience, and I think the biggest thing that I loved about Carta Magica was just the fact that for a first time holding a One Piece event, it went almost seamlessly. There was like no issues, and the hiccups of like, hey, if something came up, like they adjusted and adhered to it super quickly. Like for example, with day 2, there was the start time conflicting with the signups for like the regionals and stuff like that, for the in-persons and the offlines, and they pushed back start time immediately just so people can have the opportunity to sign up. So stuff like that is just like really goes a long way, because they could have easily just been like, oh well, you know, good luck with that as you start your round. But they were super chill about it and was just like, hey, we're gonna go ahead and push back start time so people had the opportunity to sign up. And then when there was issues with the online sign up due to the app, which wasn't even their fault, a big thing was like, hey, like we understand this, we're going to go ahead and reach back out. Like they were very open with communication. They were open with how everything was going, the thought processes, and like what we're doing for what reason. And even when the venue itself, which doesn't fall on Carta Magica, but just the venue, even when their Wi-Fi was like, I don't know what it is, but that place had like zero connection for anybody, even like the local people. Even with that, they adhered to that and printed out all the pairings for every single round, which 512 people can be a lot of paper, but every single round they printed everything out so that people can know and come up to the podium if their connection wasn't the best and be like, hey, you know, what table are you at? Okay, what's your name? I got you. And just helped everybody out. So it was really great. And I was definitely appreciative of that opportunity they gave me to actually announce in their top 16s the very next day. It was something that was provided as an opportunity, and me being a person that I don't like to be selfish, they asked me if I wanted to invite anybody else up to that. I knew the Moon Men were there at the time. I know that the other decks in Casual Dub, he had to go back home the second day, so he wasn't there. I would have provided an opportunity for him as well. But I literally said, yeah, like, sure, I know other people here that could also commentate if you need more people. They're like, yeah, the more the merrier. So I provided the opportunity. Moon Men performed exactly how they performed. And, you know, we all got to commentate the second day out of nowhere. And I mean, all of us literally signed up the next day for that side event. But we were like, yeah, no, I'd rather just commentate, because this is just an opportunity that wouldn't present itself again. And surely enough, it was a tremendously fun experience. In the description down below, you're going to actually have the link to the Carta Magica YouTube channel so that you can see those rounds. You can see myself commentate as well as the Moon Men TCG, and just watch the experience that we had to watch, because it was really good matches. They were best of threes, and there was no dull moments in those matches at all. It was definitely really great to see and experience, especially the finals, because yo, I'll just have you watch that for yourself, because it was really good of a match. And with all of that, it was just really fun. I wanted to show y'all that to kind of give for those people who never went to an in-person tournament. That was my first time going to an in-person tournament, and from my experience versus what other people who've gone to a lot of them before have told me, like, oh, this is like heaven compared to what I've experienced, kind of thing. And it's like, it's really great that it turned out how it turned out and the opportunities presented themselves how they did. and it was just never a dull moment, man. Like, I would highly recommend, if you ever had the opportunity, and it doesn't have to be in Carta Magica, it could be, you know, whatever's closest to you. Definitely, if you have the opportunity, I would say 100% go to an event. Even if you're not enrolled in the event, you never know, someone may drop, or you just always get to have good experiences. I met tons of people. I met, you know, my round one opponent who dogged me, and I just didn't expect it, because she literally, in the interview, she said, I don't know how I won. Little salt to the wound, but she was just super sweet and super wholesome. And then she actually got paired with Oscar like a couple rounds later, and that was a good match too. I ran into someone who literally learned a week before, and by the time I got paired with him, his whole thing was like, look, I just wanted to be here. I got told the last minute how to play. I literally learned, like, in the midst of our match, if I mess up anything, can you like help me so I can learn better? Yes, absolutely. Like, I will do that for sure. And I mean, good match. I ended up coming out over on top, but he was like, look, I won a match earlier, and that's all I needed. And then I ran into him later because he won a second match, and we got hype out of nowhere. It was just like moments like that you're just never gonna forget, and that just goes to show, like, another reason why I think if you have the opportunity to go to an event, by all means do go to an event. They are super fun. They are super chilled, relaxed, and just all great times. There was no toxicity that I've seen throughout any of the people that were there. It was all good times for sure, and I just recommend it, man. I just really recommend it for sure. So without further ado, let me go ahead and show you my pack opening that I got from my boosters. All right, so we are going to show off the prizing that you get for participation at Treasure Cup. Obviously, you have the Don sleeves. If you haven't received these before, there is honestly nothing you're really missing out on. They're just promotional Don sleeves. It comes with a piece of paper with it, and it's literally just some pretty cheap, chill sleeves. Nothing too crazy, honestly. You're not really getting much out of it. But these is really what we're going to go for. Things we want to pull. You have Jinbei, Ace, Bartholomew's kind of like at the bottom of the list. Udo's at the bottom of the list, and Sengoku, I think, is kind of like the mid of, like, some people want it, some people don't. It really just depends on what you're kind of gunning for as far as build wise. Zoro players really want that, but I I think I got the Jinbei. No, I got Sengoku. I got finessed. I'm not gonna lie to you. Oh, but it's really, really nice. Super solid, super nice. Has the ability with one Don attached, give all your opponent's characters -2. Doesn't have to swing or anything like that, it's just during your turn. So I personally think it's really, really good as far as a staple for sure. But let's go ahead and get to the second pack. Yeah, I really suck at opening these, but at the same time, they suck at packaging these. Okay, yeah, I think we're far enough to pull in this. Hold up. No, still no. Jesus Christ. Ladies and gents, next time get scissors. You know what? We're fine. We're gonna. Jesus, that hurt for me to do. But we got Uda, and I'm not gonna lie to you. Beautiful art, beautiful card. I personally think this is a great card on play. Add a Don from your Don deck and rested. Not the greatest, but it is film, and it does get support, or it does support the film package that a lot of people are going to be putting out for the purple structure deck in whether it's King or Kaido. So I think it's really, really good, honestly, for sure. But yeah, that's what we got. We got the film, and we got the Sengoku, the Uda, and Navy. And honestly, we got the two that no one really wanted, but I think these will be good. And that concludes everything, honestly. As far as the recap, my personal experience with going to the event, as far as future events, will you see me commentating? I'm going to let you experience that yourself. But, you know, I'm going to just let that be out there. But without further ado, I just want y'all to know, look, as much as I haven't been the best at posting, you're definitely going to see a lot more postings. within the week basis. I definitely have a lot of things coming up soon. One thing that I'm working on is a website for the custom mats that I make. If you didn't know, I do make custom mats. They are very nice and beautiful. I also do make custom Dawn, which you'll be seeing a lot more of those out as well, and a lot of deals and stuff like that when I do come up with that site finally. For right now, I just solely have like an Etsy shop. I don't want to be that person, but do know that overall, like, I do have a lot of things that are being set in motion, and I'm not just sitting here idle. And know that a lot of giveaways are coming up shortly as well, so do stay locked. Do hit that notification bell down below for when I do post a video, so that if you do want to give away, like, I don't know, a film structure deck that a lot of people haven't been able to get their hands on, I may have an extra one. Or, you know, when other starter decks come out, or just, you know, when the new set comes out right before, I don't know, in-person regionals, I might be able to give some of those out as well. I'm just saying. So without a doubt, do hit the subscribe button down below. Let me know down in the comment section below, how do you feel as though what do you feel as though is the best thing about events, and do you prefer online or offline? Personally, I like online. Just the personal experience of just meeting with people is something different between the two. I don't know how y'all feel, but that's personally how I feel. But let me know down below, because I'd love to chat about this with y'all for sure. And without further ado, know that the One Piece is real. Know that you got love over here. Peace.